So, welcome everyone to this incredible opportunity to come together on this Loving Waters call. I'd love to invite everyone to put yourself on mute.
Yeah.
Put yourself on, and I can do that. There we go. Put yourself on mute so that we'll just open the call with a resonance, bringing us together in our one waters and that full recollection. And then, of course, we want to invite you to unmute yourself and become part of the current of this water. So just really thinking in terms of this flow of life that's bringing us together. And this morning, my name is Shelley Darling. For those of you who are on the phone, who don't have a camera, and I'm actually in Australia, and I'm one of Loving Waters Water Guardian Councils. Some of us who are really holding the space for each one of you, as well as really wanting to honor Maya and Charlie, and who are here today, and Julie Armstrong and Laurie LaPointe and Elizabeth, who aren't yet with us, and but who are really holding the space for us to come together in our love and connection and share our practices, share who we are, learn more about our watersheds, and really get this experience of connection and belonging, really, because that's really what's missing in the world. You know, that in coming in relationship to our one water, we realize our wholeness. We realize that we do belong, and we realize the joy of connection. That's really what this is all about. And learning how we can participate more in this evolution of consciousness and what we feel for each one of us as a collective right action in the world, standing for our mother. So we have some wonderful, amazing people on with us today. And there's Julie just came on with us. She's in Australia as well. And so let's this morning just begin with a resonance. And the invitation is to just take a moment, slow down from our daily thoughts and worries and concerns, and bring ourselves into this collective pool of love, this consciousness of love. And we can do that simply by just opening our breath and connecting through the waters of consciousness through our breath. And that breath is that life force of energy, of joy. And as we open and just rise in the energy of the natural innate movement of our body to open to our own innate fluidity, we just take that breath in and allow it to move through and down, become aware of how it travels, just like a tree. You know, the veins within the tree, the sap, which allows for that full nourishment to the branches, to the leaves. The water is moving through the tree, and it completes its cycle with giving back that energy. So in the same way, our body we can really feel our feet on the ground, the earth, the moist earth. Because even in a desert, go deep, deep, there are these primal waters. And today the invitation is connect with those primal waters. As if we were sending this beautiful taproot down. And really feeling the blessings of the mother. Feeling the moisture. And allowing our bodies to settle in, to relax, to flow. And then you can just allow yourself to imagine these waters connecting to the ocean, to the waters that move through the mother. We're connected to that. And as we breathe back in, we breathe those waters up into and through this point of singularity, the heart, which is really managing and a generator for these waters, for this energy to move in and out, that impulse of life through our being. And as we raise our awareness up above our head, we tap into, just like the branches of a tree, expanding out into the ocean of consciousness. The air, the clouds, these are all aspects of water, frequencies of water. This is where water is life. It's actually an experiential journey, an experience of movement, of energy, of flow. And just breathing that back down into our living system, back to that point of singularity, to the heart, where it comes back in. And you just can feel this connection and its relationship with light. And as we're breathing, taking a moment, even just to caress yourself with the awareness of, I am this water. I am this light. We are this together as a collective. Water holding memory. We really honor this morning the ancestors of whatever land you're on, that we greet and that we bless these ancestral energies that have been in the full understanding of this motion of life, this movement. Water is life movement. It's this experience. And this morning, honoring the nature spirits, the earth divas, the animal totems, all that carry that same water, breathing that same water, drinking that same water. And opening to whatever information wants to be shared this morning, and move from the water and the essence of who we are, our essential self. It's the water speaking. Do we trust that? Do we get that? This call is an opportunity for us to share that sense of being. And to open to our guidance, our guides, all those evolutionary council of light that are here with us, surrounding us, stepping into our circle this morning. We are that. And we simply ask to be protected and guided and loved as we tread gently upon this mother, upon this earth, wherever we are. And from that place, it's really, really simple. And we move from our knowing, because we're moving from that alignment, that understanding of the water within our being, the connection of our soul waters. And with that, just taking a couple of more collective breaths together, and very gently opening our eyes, and just for those of you who have their camera, just taking a look at who's here with us, because it isn't just one being. They represent all of their connections, all of the work that they're doing, each one of us, all the sacred journeying that we're doing together in opening to the fullness of our one water. And then practically coming back and blessing the water. That's really our focus here. So for those of you who are getting on for the first time, Loving Waters is really just a growing community of people that are really focusing on how to practically bless the water. We come together on the full moon of every month, and that's more of a local, global experience where people are learning how to host water blessings and to bring people back to this sacred connection with water, and to rise in that understanding. And then also, like today, we come together on the new moon, where we can visibly see each other. We're here for 90 minutes. And for those of you who can stay on. And the first part is where we just simply open the field for people who want to share who you are and what's your watershed. And if you don't know your watershed, maybe some of us will help you, and to learn more about what that means. And as well as usually the last half hour, we like to open up to the water practices. And some of that might come through even in the beginning. You know, how are you showing up? Or if maybe you're just someone who wants to show up more, but doesn't really know how. So we're here as a water council, as a collective water council, here to offer our support. And on Loving Water's website, you can go and download a really simple brochure, and you can use that for your schools or your children or your family too. It offers a simple water blessing that you can be doing to enhance your relationship. So with that, I'm excited to be here. I've been traveling in Australia and want to hear more from you. So just feel free to tap into that, just that evolutionary impulse. And when you feel you'd like to speak, just take yourself off mute and come and be with us. Introduce yourself. So welcome everyone, and the crystalline. We'll use a crystalline talking stick. This crystalline, beautiful. I don't even have my crystal. Oh, we got lots of crystals over there. But this crystalline talking stick, just feel free to grab and to share. And if you have any questions, you can put them on the chat. And here's this gorgeous. Nikki's just given me this crystalline talking stick, and we'll just pass this out to each one of you to share. And I'm complete.
All right, well, I'm happy to share. This is Adam. I live in a motorhome full time, so I'm somewhat transient. But I'm currently living on literally on the edge of a freshwater lake called Sunset Lake. There's just about 200 feet of sand dune between this lake and the Pacific Ocean, the north coast of Oregon, USA. I'm a drinking water professional. I sell water filters. I spend a great deal of my day thinking about water and drinking water. It's my livelihood, and I'm proud of that. I'm happy to serve in this capacity. I bless my water regularly as I drink it, as I filter it. And I'm greatly appreciative of water in general, and I'm even more appreciative of this opportunity to connect with everyone on such an important and blessed subject. So thank you very much.
Okay, since we're not rushing to all do this at once, Jim Grey Wolf Petruzzi. I'm in Colorado. It might be noisy as I do this. I apologize. I live up a river canyon, and sometimes we have no signal, so I had to come down to Starbucks to do this. I'm been working on water projects for a long time. For the last year and a half, pretty extensively on the Standing Rock issue, and now setting up the Water is Life movement. And I'm also working on the World Summit, which is to bring people together, not only around water, but around all of our issues globally, so we can start talking about positive solutions and get away from any of the negativity that's been happening lately. And it's good to be here, and I hope you can hear me because I don't know that you can.
Yes, we can hear you. My name is Eric. Hello, I'll just jump in here and participate. I got reminded of one of the beautiful calls that are happening now through Unity, and I'm here in Victoria enjoying the sunshine. Is everybody able to hear me? Yeah, okay. I am in an amazing space now, living with myself and connecting to the vibrational field, what it means to perceive life as self-sustaining and that cycle as in water, to not block off the energies, but to allow the energies to cycle through and to change my mindset and perception around what these waters are telling me, I guess. And so I have some things to share around that, but I'll just say I'm Eric. My name is Eric, and currently living in Victoria, and excited to be here with everybody. I might jump off at some point, but just super excited to see you all. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Maya Shawgale, and I'm normally, I am in Southern California, Santa Barbara area. I live in a small town, Carpinteria, by Carpinteria Creek, where it enters into the ocean. And I'm doing the monthly full moon water ceremonies in Santa Barbara or Carpinteria. We alternate. And, but today I'm in Sedona, Arizona, visiting friends, and beautiful Oak Creek I'm near, and been hiking near Oak Creek, and it's a beautiful body of water that's running very free right now. And lately I've been reflecting a lot about the relationship between sound and water, and how we use sound in ceremony to bless the water, and all the different impacts that sound has on water, and also that water makes its own sounds. And you know, it goes both ways, that the sound shapes the water, has an impact on the water, and if it's harmonious or coherent sound, it really helps to keep the water structured, beautiful, and its crystalline shape. But also, the other day, for some reason, the energy vortices here in Sedona this visit are, I'm getting very spacey.
Or hash sign.
Whoops.
Hi.
Getting very spacey, and so I went down to the creek and sat in meditation, and I really felt like the beautiful sounds of the water running over the stones just entered me and were really bringing me back into harmony. And so, yeah, there's many more things about sound that I will have to share at some point, but that's my meditation right now, is that dance between sound and water.
Just for the people that are coming on new, we're just inviting everyone to share a little bit about themselves, and also feel free to share a little inspiration. Just trying to keep it to 1 to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just so that we can allow this flow of this call to continue, because I see that there's more people that are joining us. And welcome to our Loving Waters Connection call.
This is Elizabeth, one of the co-creators. So happy to see Unity Grace, very happy to see new faces. See Janice and Julie and Jim and Charlie and Maya, and a couple walls and phones and names. I love what you're saying, Maya, about water and sound. That brings to me the teachings that the cetaceans have for us, the whales and the dolphins. And this is their medium, is water and sound. And they've recorded whales sounding in the Indian Ocean and being recorded in California, and whales sounding off the Atlantic coast and being recorded in Ireland. And that just gives me shivers every time I think about it. When you really think about the ocean as being so accessible through these vibrational frequencies, and that we are part of that as well, and how much our cells respond to, the water in our cells responds to sound. When you get a good sound healing in an audio bath. And one of the most powerful moments I remember, and Unity Grace was there, I believe, and Shelley was when we were at Hummingbird Ranch, and we did Maya may have been there, we did a whale chorus, and we all started making whale sounds. And that, I haven't had that duplicated, but it was one of the most attuned moments that I've ever felt in my life. I live currently on the South Yuba Watershed, and trying to connect to the water advocates here in this area, and I know there's many, but I've yet to, and I've trying to figure out the way to, I'm new to the community, so finding the way to get that tone out there and vibrating for people to show up at the water blessings. I've been holding them for about a year, and now I have one other person attending, so so that's a step up. Thank you all for being here. It's so beautiful to see your faces and see this circle expanding, because it's this is the core of it, the heart of it. And way back when I was a teenager, I had a dream, and the message of the dream was that we were the first molecules of a tidal wave of humanity, and where we go, so too the rest shall follow. And I think that's a really important image to keep in mind when we're doing these things, and sometimes we don't get the response we hope for in terms of people showing up or people even understanding what we're doing. And the water's listening. The universe is listening. And we are setting the course. And if we don't do it, then who will? So.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie Riverman Bergeron, and I live in York, Maine. My watershed is the watershed of Mount Agamenticus, which is an ancient caldera from the time of Pangaea. And I've been, I would say, called here, and I was given the name Riverman. It's not something I chose. As the flow of my energy. But as I grew into that name, I realized that it's also the energy is the flow of the water. And so I've been called to bless rivers. And I do that pretty much by myself. And so loving waters is an opportunity for me to share and gather people together in communities that may not have been aware of how simple it is to express our gratitude to the water, which we all are. We're water beings, without which we don't exist here in physical form. And I try to keep it simple, and I have a challenge with being public, but that's okay. And so I'm looking for people in the New England area who want to be public and join me. So it's interesting, and I love what you said, Elizabeth, about we're the first molecules of the tidal wave. That was just amazing. That just went right through me. And I realize every day that we're each one of us molecules of water in a much larger ocean. I find myself repeating the statement that you can't separate water. Because if you separate water, the molecules of water, it's no longer water. And so just as we gather together here in these groups and with open hearts and trusted souls and minds and willingness to be those first molecules of this tidal wave, it really is important to just sit in that resonance and be thankful that we're present here and invite others and share with them the joy we have of participating in water ceremonies and bringing the gratitude and the cleaning and the clearing that comes from the work we do through the blessings, and share with them how it can be very simple. And that's my message, is to keep it simple. Many of us have elaborate processes, and they're beautiful. And I see some people do water ceremonies that just amaze me, and with song and dance and drum. And I can't wait to participate in one of those. But it doesn't matter, and that's the thing. Come from the heart, in gratitude and in love. And so, with that, I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. I think I will follow from that. I'm Julie Armstrong. I'm in Canberra in Australia. My watershed is the Murrumbidgee, coming from the high country, and we have 3 rivers: the Cotter, the Murrumbidgee, which flows into the mighty Murray, that goes all the way down to South Australia to the Southern Ocean. So we're really the biggest, we're the capital of Australia, and so what we do in our city really affects the rest of the watershed. And it's not in very good condition, despite us having worked on it for a few years. But what I really liked is the simplicity. We've had water blessings here which have been basically 1, 2 or 3 people coming together, and then that change to actually step out and go public was a very big thing for me, because I'm very involved with bees and Act for Bees, a group here. And what I've found is that with the water blessings, that I've been working with really saying everyone is welcome, and children particularly. So I think when it's clear to people that it's a very simple ceremony that children as young as 4 or even younger can participate in and really enjoy, they're the ones who want to really come back. It's really quite magical to see how they get it. And I think I've been really blessed because I've had an opportunity to work with groups of people, larger groups. A couple of weeks ago, we had 30 people in a water blessing. And there were some people who were sort of standing back, really not quite sure what was going to go on. And then the rest of, us did the water blessing. And really it's about sending, giving. It's about love and gratitude. And Dr. Emoto's water blessing is so simple. Water, I love you. Water, I thank you. Water, I respect you. And there's something about the simplicity of those words and that experience that I can feel in my body as I say it, that as I do it, the more I can really feel the resonance in my field, and how that affects me and then affects everything around me. And I think because it's so simple, it's so powerful, and that everyone can do it. Anyone can do it. So we've been on this extraordinary water blessing tour. I live in the high country, so I'm quite away from the sea, and we went to many different places along the beach, which was just such a joy to be in the water, in the ocean, feeling the water, the waves, and being with Shelley and Najma and Margie on this water journey, and then going to Uluru, to the centre of Australia, and doing a water blessing there. And it was just extraordinary to feel that connection with the water at this incredible red, this red place. It was red dirt and red rock and blue sky and the water. We felt the water. We said thank you to the water there. So, and what is amazing is that the water from Uluru actually comes all the way from Papua New Guinea, all the way from way up above the Timor Sea, and it comes in this underground river, and apparently they've tested the water and it's 7,000 years old. I was like, my goodness, how incredible. Just thousands and thousands of kilometers in this ancient water, and it's really very good water. Whereas I accidentally tasted the local water, and it was quite briny and brackish. Yeah, so the local artesian water is not so nice. So that's enough for me. Thank you all for joining us. It's wonderful to see so many people. So this impetus of blessing the water and being aware, it's really about connecting with water and then saying, okay, I'm a custodian. We're all custodians. This is something simple I can do to connect with the earth. So thank you.
Hi, this is Mary Getton, and I'm calling in from Sarasota, Florida, on the Gulf of Mexico. Let's see, I've been holding a monthly conference call, a worldwide conference call called Global Water Healing. And I've been very happy to have Shelley and Elizabeth and Maya and maybe a few others of you on a call once in a while. It's always on the first Friday of the month. And the call-in information is on the website, globalwaterhealing.org. And I started this thing 3 years ago at the request of an orca whale who I was good friends with for more than 25 years. She just passed last year. So she was calling for this help, and I'm very connected to the whales and dolphins. And so I started it, and I get different people to lead it each month. And, like Elizabeth mentioned a few minutes ago, I sometimes get disappointed at how many people show up. There was quite a bit of impetus in the beginning. I mean, I think maybe we've had as many as 80 people on a call, but and now it seems to have settled down to about 30, I think, somewhere in there. But I'm not giving up, and I think it's still a very worthwhile thing. And the website has the archives of all the meditations for the past 3 years. So anybody who has a half hour to spend doing a meditation, a guided meditation to send loving, healing energy to the waters of the world can go there and just pick one and go for it. So I think there's a lot of value in having something readily available for people to do, and even for small meditation groups or gatherings of people. So I'm getting ready to refocus my business. I'm stopping my consultations. I'm going to be just teaching and doing trips. So I see this as an opportunity to put some more time and effort and energy into into this water healing mission. So I hope to be more active in those things, and I hope to connect with all of you again in the future. Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to jump in for 1 second. I can feel unity. I can feel you. I'm so grateful you're here. I just want to jump in because just for those who are just getting on the call, this Loving Waters and the beautiful way in which it emerged through Julie Armstrong and then Elizabeth and myself, and then Maya and Charlie and Lori LaPointe, who's not here. And I also want to mention Karina, who is such a big part of the sound aspect of water, and all of the rest of you now. So just mainly a quick thing, which is the essence of who we are, this growing community, is really to give visibility to you, to give us each a way to be the full expression of our waters. So in saying that, it's growing, and we're building the website, and we're working on creating other avenues. Elizabeth has this incredible avenue to really create this self-sustaining relationship of people who love water and people who want to, be seen for what they're doing and to share the gifts that they have to give. So I just wanted to kind of drop that in, and thank you so much, everybody, and just continue opening the call. Feel free, just as the inspiration comes, to just bring it forth, anything that you feel. Sometimes even we have guests and we, bring a poem, bring a water inspiration that you have. So with that, just we'll continue and keep allowing the flow of this essential river to express itself through us and as us. And I'm complete.
I did the wrong thing. Oh, hi. This is Janice. I'm in Chicago, and I have been doing the water blessings myself, if I'm not with someone else, just having one every month. And I had to laugh at was it Mary that just said, oh, and we're down to 30, because mine were always 1 or 2. And then last full moon, I had the biggest ever, which was 8. And that was in Virginia on the New River. And actually, we were on Saddle Creek, which connects to the New River. And so that was really wonderful experience. And we were able to, I was happy that 3 people that had never been to a water ceremony really responded favorably and took the brochure and seemed fairly committed, that I just felt that they would continue with themselves. And so that was good. And now I'm back in Chicago, and the next one will be here at Lake Michigan, which is my watershed. And one thing that I've done, it just organically connected, because I was already doing 13 moon goddess circles with some people, and they were talking about that each moon was something different. And so I just have always incorporated that because, we just had the ceremony Sunday, and it's butterfly moon. And so I try to share some of that energy throughout the moon cycle, and then with my full moon ceremony. And last month, when I had 8 whole people, it was the eagle moon of visioning and questing. And so we were all together because we had been at a workshop about past lives. So I'm like, well, you can't do probably much more visioning and questing than that, going back through your lifespans. And so now this time I'm very excited because it's butterfly moon. And the cool thing about that is that it's also the 4 elements. So it starts with the egg. Well, I guess that's debatable, but so the egg is one cycle, and then the grasshopper, and then the chrysalis, and then the butterfly. And so I like the idea of incorporating that concept into blessings of the water. and healing of the earth. And then I'm also a labyrinth facilitator, and I made this finger labyrinth, and I'm going to hold it up now so you can all see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Did you see it? Okay. Okay. So I'm complete.
Have we heard from Unity Grace yet? I would love to hear your voice, sweetheart.
Aloha. I didn't know who else had spoken, jumping on the call a little bit late. Amazing to see and hear everyone. And Minnie Wachoni, water is life. We love you, water. We thank you, water. We appreciate you, water. Okay, so I know a lot of people on the call, and it's wonderful to see some of our Salt Spring Island community on this call. I put the link on our Salt Spring group chat, and there's an amazing water-loving community there that does a monthly water blessing at minimum. And they really join me in all of my grid work around the world, you know, really spontaneously and so on. So it's awesome to see some of those people on the call. And yeah, so just being in a little stream of consciousness here. I have been walking the earth for 6.5 years, praying with water, guided by water, loving water, listening to water, learning from water. I say that water is my greatest teacher, and water has taught me everything that I know. And I also nowadays say that water is really my true beloved. I've really come to realize that on this journey. I thought my beloved was 6'7", but my beloved is a little blue bottle of water, and which is pretty funny. So anyways, yeah, it's interesting for me on this journey, having spent so much time solo on my own, climbing fences into military zones, listening to water. The guidance always telling me where to go and what to do, and always saying they've got my back. And even when I'm going, you really want me to go in there? And the guidance says yes. And seeing truly that when we're working with water, we are truly working with a level of spiritual consciousness that reminds us that our birthright is to engage with this earth in totality, beyond borders. And beyond these imaginary structures that humanity has created. Water flows, and water doesn't worry about borders. So yeah, the journey's been pretty amazing. I'm in Venice Beach, California right now. I say that my carry-on has been my home for the last 6.5 years. And what's interesting to me, having done this really quietly, and those who know me know that Indigenous have contacted me to carry their sacred bundles on the journey and so on. So it's been a really miraculous kind of sci-fi level journey, just working with water and receiving a lot of unexpected contacts through the Indigenous, etc., seeking me out because of the work that I was doing. So here's the really important thing to mention right now. This is huge, and probably some people, maybe Jim already knows this, although I think Jim and I have maybe only spoken once before on a call, maybe with Nancy Hummingbird or something. I think it's the most important thing of all to share right now. We have an eclipse coming on the 21st of August, 2017. It is preceded by a lunar eclipse on 8/8, which is the Lion's Gate. And anyone who works with the stars know that 8/8 aligns with Sirius B. So a lunar eclipse preceding that solar eclipse on the 21st of August. That eclipse crosses from the west coast of Turtle Island to the east coast, and in 2024, there's an eclipse that travels from the east coast of Turtle Island to the west coast. And, you know, my whole journey with water has made no rational sense, except it's all been profound and super mystical, and all the pieces are coming together now. when I was doing my work at the Vatican in November on election day, the guidance was saying that I would carry the water from the old world to the new on the 11/11 gateway, meaning November 11th, to activate the turtle, to liberate the dove. Of course, I ended up being at Standing Rock, and so much of my journey made profound sense to me at that point. So what's really fascinating is that where the two eclipses cross, the 2017 and the 2024 eclipse, they cross in an area that is very close to a place in the United States called Little Egypt. Now we're understanding why the water was coming from the old world to the new, to activate the turtle, to liberate the dove, and what's really going on here on Turtle Island. What is the sacred indigenous knowledge that the indigenous have been holding quietly to themselves? I was just introduced recently to a young Dogon man, and I know I'm supposed to keep this short because this is my introduction piece, but I'll just mention this piece. He was taught by the first priest that was sent out by Credo Matwa, from the Dogon elder from Africa. That elder sent a priest out, I'm not sure what the timeline was, but many years ago. And I've been introduced to a man named Bikbai, who was the first person to receive the teachings from the Dogon people coming to the Americas. So we've been piecing a lot of pieces together of late. This place in Little Egypt, where these two eclipses cross, this place in Little Egypt in Illinois, is a place where the Mississippi, Missouri, Wabash, and Ohio rivers basically bookend either side of this part of the United States. So our power to work with water and our understanding as water blessers and all of those indigenous who've held this sacred wisdom quiet is going to become very profound in the next while as we work with our watersheds, because there is no accident that the Templars and the Masons who had sacred knowledge of the grids were sent to North America to follow the grid lines, to find the place where the new earth would activate from at the time of ascension. And it's there. And it's becoming very obvious as Bikbai and I pull wisdom together, as we're sitting with our Hopi and Mayan elders, etc. So that is my little stream of consciousness just to put into this call. I'm going to have to jump off this call fairly soon. But really what the guidance is inviting is that we open to the higher guidance as water blessers in this sacred circle to begin to receive how we continue to proceed with doing what we're doing. Of course, we know we can just bless water in the tap or bless water in our own hometown. But the guidance was really calling all of us to bring our awareness to this sacred location on Turtle Island, which is telling us something profound. And it's telling us through the merging of the waters that something profound is about to unfold. And it's also tied into all of these crystal caves in these areas. So may we continue to open to our own inner wisdom. May we continue to open to the sacred knowledge and guidance of our indigenous brothers and sisters. And may we revel in the revealing from the waters of what it really means to activate the turtle, to liberate the dove of Christ consciousness through this part of the earth.
I'd like to put in a thought to bring us into exactly what you're saying, is the remembrance that we are all indigenous to the water. And our indigenous brothers and sisters are the ones that remember this. And water blessings are far more than just blessing the water. It's really bringing us to that place of remembrance that we are water as life. And we live that way. We begin to each live that way.
Thank you. I might have to go because someone's coming in a minute, but I'd just like to share that I live on Sydney's northern beaches, and I'm overlooking the beautiful Pittwater body of water. It goes a long way in. I'm not sure how far, but it goes for miles. It's really stunning. About 5 years ago, I realised that the body's 70% water, and I became involved with a water product, which I've been sharing with people, and I've noticed. Well, firstly, the water is one of the most essential nutrients for the body, but it's one of the most overlooked. So that was a bit of an eye-opener when I started to realise that. And so I've been sharing the water for about 5 years with people who've got terminal diseases and all sorts of things. And I've noticed how remarkable the healing has been. But not only that, the thing that struck me most was how it raised consciousness. With the drinking of it, it's raising consciousness. So I feel one of my roles in life is to help continue to share the water and to help raise consciousness like that. It doesn't have to be conscious for them to be raising their consciousness, if you like. It's just one of the things that happens as a byproduct of drinking the water. So I just wanted to share my bit. Nice to join you all.
Can we get your name?
Nikki. Sorry, Nikki.
Let me jump in for a minute. Thank you so much, Nikki. And what was really incredible, some of you might have heard if you were on the very, very beginning of this call, but what was really incredible to me was about probably 3 weeks now, or maybe a little bit more, we began, Loving Waters really fostered and presented this journey called the Ancestral Bridge Journey. It was a sacred water wisdom and dowsing journey. And it began like here, like in this area where Nikki was just talking about Pittwater, began on Scotland Island. Although the waters did push us north to be, it was like there was a preface to that in Byron Bay with a lot of flooding, speaking of waters. But what was really incredible to me this morning was I went out on Nikki's porch and all the white cockatoos were speaking, and I looked out, and in between this sort of elbow of this giant tree that stands outside of her porch was this sort of one you could see out to the water. And I went, oh my God, I could see Bengala. It was exactly the space in between those elbows where we began this journey. And to cycle back here, I don't know that I've even fully integrated it yet because it only happened just a little bit ago. And that it is the waters. I loved what's being shared from everybody, and it is the waters, like more than whispering to us that I am you, I'm guiding you, this is the essence of life itself, through us and at us, as us. And where does our connection, our awareness come from? The waters, the memory within our soul being. And that's what's so beautiful about this call. I love, it's really connecting the soul of our one water, this remembering. And that's why we come together. And then we just listen to how the flow is calling us. So this call is also, we're talking about resonance. We're tuning into the vibrational frequency, and Maya started with sound, to realize all of her elements, to realize her essential being, moving us into our fullest expression. And the magic of that as a being in a 3D body is that we get to relax, and just like kelp, we watch sunlight on water and we watch how the kelp moves. And it's not rushing around to try to get somewhere else. It's actually just being its eternal essence, floating within the waters of its being. It's a nutrient body itself for others, and as well, it collects sunlight and nutrients. So I just feel like that's really the essence of our call, to get people to understand, or not to get, to open up the field for us to be able to feel that we can relax, we can open, we can listen, and we can become responders to our own waters, and really trust that. Nikki and I were having some conversations this morning, and we've come from a place of where there's more living just from the conditions of the way we're supposed to be living, to really resistance, questioning, well, wait, that doesn't feel right to me. What is feeling? It's living from essence. And then all this amazing evolutionary, coaching and mentoring and all these different things. But still, the reminder, at least on this ancestral bridge journey, which was huge, in meeting every challenge that showed up as an opportunity to grow deeper, to put our roots down deeper, is that is to slow down and feel our own waters and feel the connection, and really get this stabilization that happens, because when we start to feel that there's so much chaos and craziness in the world, we just need to actually feel the body of water that's holding us, so we can relax and continue. So I just want to thank everybody, and we still are opening. This is the second half hour of our journey, or the third half hour, and this is the opportunity just to keep letting it flow, and to now really invite people to share even your practices. Is there something that you're doing that you're realizing that's really important for others to know? So yes, we have the brochure and it offers a simple way of connecting, but what are your ways? What are you getting? To please share that with all of us, so that we can incorporate that in our world. I'm finished.
I'm not sure if we've heard from Adam Gardner, or is this Nikki Menard's the same Nikki that's with you? Is it a different Nikki? We just love to hear your voice. We're so appreciative that you're with us, and really invite you to put your voice into the field.
Okay, I'm Nikki Menard. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Nikki. Thank you.
Thanks. I don't know where the other. I've never worked with one of these things before. Anyway, I'm from Salt Spring Island in British Columbia, and that Unity was talking about, and I'm part of the Water Blessings here that Kim Tebbett has started 3 years ago with her friend Samaya. And they're very profound. We do them in different parts of the island. Some are at late, ancestral grandmothers of humanity and drum. And so I, on occasion, go to the beach, or I go to the local creek, or some of our other waters on the island, and go in and sing and share the vibrations of the grandmothers. And sometimes I'm at the beach and I talk to the water goddess and just really appreciate all the gift that the waters have to give us. And the water blessings have been quite wonderful. There's children that come as well, and sometimes people come from Vancouver Island. We've had as many as almost 50 people, and small, maybe 10 people. And they're really quite wonderful. And I would like to probably start other things for myself, which I'm just putting out there, so I haven't quite received what it is I'm to do next for the waters. And then I've done a few small ceremonies with 2 other people in conjunction with when Unity was doing something else, maybe in France or some other part of the world. And it's been very interesting to hear each and every one of you speak of water with so much passion and love. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for being with us.
Hi, this is Adam Gardner again. I spoke at the beginning, but I am a drinking water professional. And as Shelley's friend mentioned, it is a joy to see people experience health improvements, significant health improvements, just by raising their awareness about drinking water and drinking enough drinking water and drinking clean drinking water. There is a good bit of health to be gained by raising awareness around water. So it is a joy to do that. I drink out of the same drinking water canteen basically every day. It's decorated with words like love and appreciation and gratitude. I try to be very conscious about expressing gratitude as I drink my water. We've set up crystal grids around our water tanks and other people's water supplies and wells and things like that to try and align the energy around the water at its source. And I have a general appreciation for water. Our bodies are 60% water. Our brain is like 80% water. So, I mean, we are water, whether we want to believe that or not. That's just the reality of it. Water is mostly hydrogen molecules, and the entire universe, including ourselves, is mostly hydrogen. We are water. There's no question about it. So once again, I appreciate the opportunity to connect with everyone here and to connect on this important subject of water. It is something that unites us, whether we choose to recognize that or not. It is an element that unites us as one. So I appreciate the connection. Thank you very much.
I'm just going to share what we do in our water ceremonies. So we have, Matt made this really big Loving Waters banner, which I will bring to the next call. And it's strung up between the trees, and we go down often to the different rivers. The last one was at the Murrumbidgee, and it was the hottest day of the year. It was really, really hot. So there were lots of people down there. And what was really nice was that we went out and spoke to people as they came down to to have picnics and swims in the river and said, would you like to join us? We're doing a water blessing. And I said, what's that? And then they looked up Loving Waters on their phones to find out more. And so we had about 20 people, including 5 children. And we just found this beautiful spot under the casuarina trees. And we went down to the water and collected in a glass jug water from the Murrumbidgee and took it back. And gathered in a circle around the jug. And then just really attuned. I did an attunement to really connect to the earth and feeling the water under our feet, and then connecting to a star, and then just feel that light coming through us and connecting deep within us, and then to focus on our heart space and to really feel the love and gratitude for being here and connecting with the people who are here in the circle. And then to connect, there was then a visualization about the water cycle, breathing in the moisture and that moisture going in and meeting with the moisture in our lungs, and then that the water meets with the water within our body, and then breathing out that moisture. And then going the water cycle being evaporated and then falling as rain and falling into the watershed, going back to the river, the water that flows through the trees, and in this incredible energy that flows up through the trunk of the tree and then comes out. The animals that eat the moisture through the leaves. And so the water cycle really connecting with one water, one well, that we're all connecting through our rivers, through our seas, through our creeks, through our breath, with one water. And then to connect in with our water, a particular source. And then to send love and gratitude. So Dr. Emoto's pointing your hands, holding it like this, and then saying all together, water, I love you. Water, I thank you. Water, I respect you, 3 times. And what was really nice is that we had a couple of people from the local Indigenous affairs group, and we also did paying respect to country first, and then we asked her to take the water back to the river and to pour it back. And then we finished with everyone in the circle just really saying their connection to water. So just a really short, what's important for you, and what do you remember? And often it is a childhood memory that is first a connection. And then, somebody brought a poem and somebody brought a dance, but sometimes they don't. And then we have a picnic. So it's really very simple. And it's also, for me, I feel it's just so powerful, because when you bless the drinking water and you have water that you don't bless, you say, taste the difference. Mix the water up, which has been blessed. But it is such a way to say, this is a way we can meet what is really a crisis in pollution. That the water that we have blessed is different. That when we bring our love and gratitude and connection to the water, it changes. And for me, it's really about our connection with where we live, who we are in the world, that we can all make a positive difference to what looks like a world unraveling very quickly. And so it really empowers people with a positive message. Oh yeah, I can do something. And for me, it's really important that the children hear this and know it and learn it. So it doesn't matter how many people are in your group, but that those people actually go out and teach other people how to do it. It doesn't matter if there's two people, but maybe one of those two people will be teaching somebody else how to do it. That's what's important. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So much of what you said is so important. I've been really realizing that the dis-ease of the human species on Earth is that we have separated ourselves from the water of cycle of life. That we don't see ourselves as part of this. So to me, a key purpose in this process, in this practice, is reconnecting people to our water, to our watersheds, to the water inside, to the water, the obvious water, but also to our watersheds, and understand how our watersheds are all connected. And if I may, or if we have time, I have a poem that you inspired me to bring back up. I live in the, I used to live in the High Sierra, where still on the South Yuba watershed. And we get the first scrapes of the clouds coming off the Pacific that lands on the earth as snow. And we get more snow than just about anywhere on the planet. And one morning I woke up and I was living in a trailer, just a one-story trailer. I was completely encased in snow. It had completely covered my trailer. So this is what I woke from this. My water is a wall of white cold breath as I awoke this morning encased in solid, in a chamber of new and old snow, like the layers of time. The water is a frozen glacier, embraced in icy darkness as the windy blessings of the mother laid clouds of her aquatic life upon the mountaintop again and once again. Water is each a unique snowflake, for all but a brief moan of time rising past my windows on all sides of this cocoon, save for the one small entrance through which, as the rising sun is barely pushing through small openings. Water is sun-dripping icicles. I can see each ancient molecule of this mass of snow filling my lungs with particles, as fine and as old as the Earth Mother herself, and to be so loved. Water is the gentle soaking rain, so that by the irresistible flow of life, she unfurls her bounty to feed us one universe at a time in every morsel of now. Water is warm, seeping soil, moisture. I exhale and send my water spirit out across the seas to the nourishing breath for a sweet pair of iridescent tui birds mating for life. Water is a misting drift of music, sung on the branch of a deep forest in the land of the long white cloud. We are each connected through our very shared need for condensation. Water is the river ribbons flowing home, as seen in the fleeting vision of connecting thoughts as a drop of intention in a vague dream, shining in a new story from new friends within the thundering dew of peace. One drop at a time is enough, for each drop is the ocean. And that was written before there was any connection to the land of the long white cloud. Iridescent tui birds mating for life.
That was so gorgeous, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. I mean, it just really makes me realize what we're doing here, you know, just connecting and sharing. And also, I totally get we need to add a page of water inspiration to the website where people can share. Maya has written some incredible things. I know Charlie has written some incredible things. That I have somewhere. But beside that, like, this is what we want to be. This is the essence. I just have been really feeling this. The word that popped up this morning was this oasis. This oasis of love, where we're coming together. And this is the inspiration. To me, Loving Waters is the inspiration of the waters herself coming forth as a fountain. Like, that was just like a fountain flow of grace and beauty and essence. And then we take that and we go wherever we go, contacting, connecting with whomever we contact, and we're sharing those waters, the essence of those waters. And wow, I can't think of anything more gorgeous, than that. So just thank everyone for showing up, and we still have like 10 more minutes. So feel to share your inspiration and your water blessings. And the only thing I would want to add is one of the things that we do in the water blessings that I love to do, offer, is we just save a little bit of the water that has been blessed. We don't pour it all out back to the water. We save some, and we offer, if anyone has their sacred water bottles, we invite people to bring those water bottles or bring an empty one, and we give some to them. So those waters just keep connecting all over to other waters that they're blessing or they're connecting with. So that's a really important piece. And I think I just want to put this out because I haven't done this yet, but it was a consideration when we originally started this whole thing. It was Lori Wind who said, let's, and I thought together, they're really, really cheap. Even at Whole Foods, they're like $1, and you can get them wholesale for even less than that. And to bring empty water bottles to your water blessing, because you're never going to know if there are people who've never been there before. And so that you can offer them, here, take this back with you. You can put this on your altar, and to create a little water altar as well. So I just wanted to add that piece. Thank you.
And what Unity Grace mentioned, the little blue bottle, the little spray bottle that you can just carry with you. And that's really very simple to purify your environment as you move through life. And Shelley, you mentioned the Oasis. I once did a project in Baja, in Loreto, and the reason it was settled, it was the very first settlement in Baja of the Spaniards, and the reason it was settled is because there's all these oases up the river canyons, and it was a very lush place comparatively for the rest of Baja. But now, because of human intervention, these oases had disappeared. And there was a project to revitalize the oases, and the way they did this was to slow the water down. So this connects with what you were saying earlier about just slowing down, and that by slowing the water down, by building these rock dams and slowing the water down, it allows the water to infiltrate. And I think that's part of what we're doing in this slowing down, is allowing the water to sink in, to really allow it to come, for our consciousness to sink in to ourselves. I just made that connection with those two things you said about Oasis, and that we can create oases. We can build oases by slowing the water down. Gonna have to think on that one. There you go.
It's so beautiful listening to all of the ways you're doing ceremony. I feel so connected. It's so good to hear it because I feel we're in such resonance. I do so many similar things in the circles, and hearing about the water teaching us, and the water teaching us to slow down. One of the things we've been doing is passing a crystal or something, and everyone sharing what lessons they are learning from water. in each person. And sometimes it is just so touching and so beautiful. All of the different teachings that people can share that they're learning. And for me, it's a lot. Water has been teaching me that it always flows downhill. It takes the path of least resistance. It's not struggling. It's not efforting. It's not pushing uphill. It can be very forceful, and as it comes, it can move rocks and obstacles. But it's finding the path of least resistance. And, it's a good reminder of the non-efforting. And also, I've been partnering in the co-facilitating the ceremonies with Shumash Elder Art Cisneros, and he has brought us to focus a lot on the inner waters and our bodies as water temples, and reminding people, like Gandhi's statement, "Be the change you want to see in the world," is saying, yes, whatever we're doing with the outer waters, the watersheds and the water around us, is remembering that we must, the same things work for us. And so directly using sound and remembering that our language and every words we speak, including the thoughts and the emotions, are affecting our water. And so just sharing that, having that conversation with people, and suggesting ways of cleansing our internal waters, and including when we quiet our emotional selves, that we're calming the waters on the inside. So, and people have wonderful sharings about that insight for them. So I love adding more of that focus to the ceremonies. Has been beautiful. And we also bring extra little bottles, and we do invite people to take it home, to put it on their altar, or to bring it to another water. And they love that, especially people who are new to the water ceremony are so touched to be given that blessed water to take home. So I'm looking forward to the next full moon water ceremony. And I had a beautiful ceremony here in Oak Creek the other day, and right after letting the sound of the water bless me, and then offerings to the water and prayer and songs, afterwards I got up and got on the trail, and this beautiful young rattlesnake, just in its very water way, slithered across the trail, and I felt so blessed. I have a strong connection of snakes with water. I mean, it's the movement of water that's in an embodied being. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to gather with all of you in all Australia and from everywhere, Maine and Unity. You're back in California. We'll all be coming back soon. Blessings to all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Blessings to your waters.
Gorgeous. And for those of us who are here holding the space for people who haven't been able to get on today, but who'll be watching the video, we sending those blessings out. We can just take a few minutes and do a closing. And if there's someone here, this would like to really feel that movement to close our call, and to just be in the reverie of the energy that we're breathing in and breathing out. So if there's anyone who'd like to do that, we invite you to step forward. You know who you are.
Well, when I began, I called up a blessing that has become a favorite of mine. It's the Waitaha blessing is the name of it, and I don't know where it originated, but it is just a gentle reminder for me to how much I dearly love the water and how much the water loves me. And it sounds very childish to say that, but really it is. It's the child in us that remembers the water so clearly. And as somebody spoke earlier, I believe it was Julie, about children coming, or people remembering, whoever it was, remembering fondness in their they usually go back to their childhood and have the fond memories of being at the beach or at the river or learning how to swim or whatever it is. And it's that connection because it's basically the first time they're out of the water from the womb, but seeing it from a different perspective and engaging in a different manner. And so we cannot separate ourselves from the water because we were born in the water, we are the water, and we can't ever deny that we're not the water. So if I can call that up, I would just read it. It's just a gentle reminder. And so with that, let us close our meeting, and I bless each one of you for being here. I thank you for offering each of your words, your thoughts, your presence, your energy. And with that, this is the Waitaha water prayer. Let my spirit, my deep mind travel to the spaces in between the water patterns. Let my heartbeat echo the tinkle and bell sounds of the water deep inside my body. Let me hear the memories of the gods and goddesses. Let me hear the memories of the angels and ancestors. Let me send my voice into every atom of water that is in the water, that is in front of me, behind me, around me, above me. Let all the forms of water hear my resonance in this time and forever carry my blessings and wishes to the highest mountains, to the heavens. Then let all the living and the dying creatures and humans hear the sounds of the joy of creation, resonating in every sentient form in this universe and others, to be the sound that sings forever and eternal in the mind song of creation. I love you. I thank you. I bless you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. That was gorgeous. And I hope you're going to send that to us. If you have inspirations or poems you've written or connections you want us to connect to, just please send them to lovingwaters.life@gmail.com. And we'll start posting them. And oh, it's been a gorgeous call. Thank you for showing up, and let's stay connected. And please post also your water blessings, what you're doing, and we'll start to build that out so other people can see, we can support you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you, we love you. Amen, amen, amen. So it is. Woo!
Thank you. I'm going to close with a song if anybody wants to listen.
Yeah.
You hear it? Can you hear it?
You Thank you.